Hey guys, welcome back to Fueled by Tone House. I'm Ryan Turner, Director of Sports Nutrition. I'm going to show you this amazing dish right here. So these are going to be our salmon sliders. I'm always asking my clients, my athletes, to make sure that they're hitting on foods that are going to help them recover, things that are more anti-inflammatory. There's nothing better than high omega-3 food items. So what we're going to use is we're going to actually use a little bit of salmon here. If we can get salmon into your system 2 to 4 times a week, we know that we're starting to bring up that omega-3 index in your body, and that's just gonna help you get back on the turf after your hard workouts even quicker, all right? So I'm gonna show you how to make these sliders. We're gonna throw them together. I'm gonna show you even how to cook them up, and I'm gonna show you a cool little way just to kind of top it off with just a special touch, all right? So come on in here. What we're gonna do is we are going to get our pan ready. That's gonna be our #1 thing, all right? So we're gonna use a little bit of olive oil. You can definitely use things like avocado oil. If you wanna start with butter, you can. Remember that whenever you're cooking, the oil is gonna be the thing that's gonna cook your food, and the butter is gonna be the thing that's gonna give it some flavor. So we're gonna use a little bit of olive oil here. Just drizzle it on a pan already. Looks like we got some great light right here, so if I'm looking a little bit strange, it's just because we got this amazing open kitchen here. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start with a little bit of onion. So we're gonna take about half of an onion and just throw that right in this bowl. I'm gonna create the whole mix right here. So let's just do this. With your onion, always wanna make sure, you might wanna be using, you can use a yellow onion, you can use a white onion. A white onion might kind of, might pop a little bit more and just give a little bit more of a, kind of a spicier kind of taste for you. But we're just gonna use about half. We'll take this off. Now, whenever I'm talking with a lot of my clients, a lot of my athletes, they, for some reason, maybe are kind of scared of fish. They don't really know how to cook it, they don't know where to get it, so they're gonna wait for someone to kind of make it for them. But the more that you can tackle this and kind of figure out how to kind of fit these fish into your diet, you can really start changing your health and your performance around that much quicker. So make sure you do me a favor and really stay open-minded about how you can actually utilize any kind of these products. And this doesn't stop with just something like fish, because you can end up getting things just like chicken. If you're someone who's afraid of cooking chicken at home, there's things like canned chicken. There's even chicken that you can kind of get in a bag just like this, already pre-prepared, that you can even eat on the go if you need to. All right, so we're gonna dice up this onion here. What's nice is that this also gives these sliders just a little bit of a crunch depending on how long you cook these. If you wanted to, you can actually brown this onion, just kind of let it sweat in the pan, and that can give it a little bit more flavor. It actually brings out the sweetness within the onion itself. But you don't want to really do that, because right now you get a lot of great flavors, kind of like sweet flavors from that salmon already, okay? So we'll put that right in there. And then we're gonna look towards our salmon. So again, if you wanna take some pre-cooked salmon, maybe you stopped in one of your favorite stores and you found some pre-cooked salmon, you can just flake that up and put it right in the bowl if you want to. But if you wanna save a little bit of money and you wanna be a little bit more versatile in how you can start to put together meals, use something like a canned salmon. Why is it gonna be that much better? Because this is, again, gonna be cheaper, but you most of the time are gonna find a wild salmon, which is gonna be just a little bit higher in that omega-3. It's gonna be a little bit lower in fat as well. When we start going towards farmed salmon, that's gonna be something that is developed to actually have a higher fat content, and it might not be actually all that more eco-friendly. So we wanna make sure that we can look for that wild salmon as much as we can. So you can get something like these bagged salmons if you want to, but the canned options are gonna be great. Let me share one more secret with you, is that these canned salmons, they're gonna have a little bit of bones in them. And those bones, you're not really gonna feel. You might wanna just pick through here and take out some of the larger pieces, but now we have a higher calcium food. So if I have a lot of my athletes who tend to be a little bit more affected by lactose, we can definitely have them get their calcium from this kind of thing. Food with bones in it sounds weird, but it's helpful. Now, when you look in here, there's gonna be a little bit of water. I've already poured that out. And I picked through here to take out some of the bones as well. But I'm just gonna pour this right in here. You're gonna see that the skin is on here as well, but we're really gonna kind of dig in here and just kind of break that up, so it's gonna be a pretty good texture, all right? So let's keep going with everything else that we're gonna put in. We're gonna put a little bit of egg in here as a binder. You can mix this ahead of time. I love to get messy though. So I love to kind of get into my food, so I'm just gonna crack my eggs right in there instead of putting it in a bowl first and then mixing it up. Now we also end up using a little bit of these oats. You may end up seeing in, say, like a meatloaf recipe or like a meatball recipe that people are gonna use like breadcrumbs. This is a way to use maybe a lower gluten kind of option for you, but I think of it as a higher fiber option, and that's gonna be something that's gonna help your overall health out, okay? So we have that in there. We're gonna put a little bit of olive oil just on top, and we're good to go. This is the fun part. So honestly, just get those hands in there and get messy, all right? So now we have a great mixture, high omega-3. We have great things from that egg yolk as well. We have B vitamins that are gonna help you with your energy and also your metabolism. So we're putting something together here that is making you an even stronger athlete, all right? So remember, we have our pan behind us cooking, and I'm gonna show you an easy way to make these. Now, the more that you actually let these sit, the more it's actually gonna get a little bit thicker. So it's gonna be something that you can kind of work with a little bit easier. Perfect, all right. If you see this, we now know that there's not gonna be, it's not too wet. If it is, you can put a little bit more of those oats in there and that really wouldn't be a problem, all right? What I'm gonna do here, I just need a napkin, got those messy hands. I'm gonna just step over to the sink really quick. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start to form our sliders. Now I'm gonna show you an easy way to do this. If you wanna use your hands, go ahead and do it. But I like to really make these uniform kind of sliders. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a little 1/4 cup measuring cup. I'm gonna take that, I'm just gonna fill it up. And I'm usually gonna use like 2 or 3 of these as a serving. So there's just one. Let's do 3 of these, all right? Awesome. Kids like these, they're a little bit more kid-sized, but they're also something that you can actually make into meatballs. You can make a larger patty with this if you want to as well. But now that we have these formed, they're gonna be ready to go. I'm gonna flatten these out just a little bit. These don't take a long time to cook. You actually have a cooked product already. So I'm gonna take these, remember our pan is already hot, so if you haven't heated that up already, make sure you do it. I'm gonna step over here. I'm gonna put this right on the oil. It sounds like it's hot, perfect. These are gonna cook just about 2 to 3 minutes aside. So you can just kind of keep your ear out for it. I'm gonna turn the heat up just a little bit, kind of like a medium heat. Perfect there. Nice. You're gonna love to see the color on these. The color on these are amazing. All right, now, as that's cooking, I'm gonna show you how to make these a little bit more fun. If you have slider buns, use slider buns, but I like to kind of use a bread that's a little bit more artisanal, who knows, but it can definitely give you just a little bit more of a crunch. So I love to take these, and I'm gonna take just a rocks glass, and I'm now gonna match kind of the size of my slider there, and I'm just gonna cut these buns out, okay? And it's gonna make this just a little bit more fun. I love getting kids and friends if we're kind of at home and we're making this together. This is just a little fun. It's so easy. It's not a hard thing for anybody to do. You can take the extra bread, you can reduce your food waste, and you can make breadcrumbs out of those if you really need to. You can hear those sliders cooking. You can smell it too. It smells pretty good. Nice. We have 4. Let's get a total of 6 for our 3 sliders. If you don't have a rocks glass, you can just use a knife and cut this out if you really wanted to. Don't overthink this again. You can easily just go get some slider buns if you needed to, okay? I like to use this whole wheat bread. It's gonna give you More fiber, it's gonna give you a little bit more of those B vitamins in there as well. And that'll be great, all right? Nice, cool. So now that we have those are good. We're gonna check on our sliders here. Nice. Come check these out. These are gonna be a really good color. You can actually see the benefit of not pre-cooking those onions is that it's gonna give it a little bit of texture. It's gonna give it a little bit of a crunch, which is gonna end up giving you, again, a depth of texture, a depth of flavor that you're just gonna love. We're gonna take these, we're gonna end up plating this at the end, and that will be perfect. You can leave these on here for just a little bit longer if you want to. I'm gonna take them off now and show you how to take care of this bread here. Nice, perfect. Come on in here, check out that color, man. That is amazing. Awesome, all right. Now what I'm gonna do, remember what I said, the oil is gonna help cook this kind of thing. That butter is gonna give us a really good flavor. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this, and I'm gonna place this right in my pan. Awesome, let me take all of my bread, put that right on there. All right, great. Now, if you don't want to end up using something like salmon, you can definitely use a tuna if you wanted to. You can actually take something just like, say, some sort of chicken that you've already cooked, and you can do pulled chicken, you can do pulled pork with these. Sliders are so easy, and again, I said you don't need to just have them in like slider form. You can definitely make a meatball out of these. You can make a larger patty if you wanted to, and they're also pretty portable. So don't think that you can't use them or bring them with you if you're kind of going somewhere. All right. So nice. Let's get these. You can definitely flip the bread to give yourself just both sides kind of a nice crunch. But I'm gonna keep going with this. Don't burn yourself just like I did. Awesome. All right. Let's be safe. Let's turn that off. Great. We got all of those. Now, all we gotta do is plate. Amazing. You can put, if you're just having salmon, something like a horseradish could kind of go on these if you really wanted to. A mustard could go really well with these also. But look at that color. There is so much flavor coming out of all of this. Guys, this is something that's so quick, so easy. These freeze really well. They can sit in your freezer, pull them out as you actually need them, and you'll be good to go. Remember, this is how you can definitely fuel like an athlete on the go. Thanks for joining us again here on Fueled by Stonehouse. I'm gonna see you next time in the next dish.